Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Madam Chair, I move that the convention suspend the procedural rules. I move that all votes cast by delegates be reflected in the official record. And I move that Hillary Clinton be selected as the nominee of the Democratic Party for President of the United States.
Well, there you have it, Bernie bros. Bernie bowed out. He said he wanted to go ahead and suspend the process and nominate Hillary Clinton. She's making history. She is going to be the first woman to get the Democratic nomination for a major political campaign. A lot of Bernie supporters actually walked out. They're chanting, "This is what democracy looks like." They were rightly upset. Here they put all their faith in Bernie Sanders, who says he's going to change the establishment, fight against the machine. And then he, in just one instance, turns around and says, nope, now you need to support the candidate who is the most establishment ever, taking big money. Elizabeth Warren yesterday jokingly, I mean, she was serious, but it was a total joke, saying that she wanted to get big money out of politics. I mean, it's just, here's the thing, is that it was never about the revolution. It was always about the agenda. And the agenda was to push the party further to the left. It's now being called the most progressive platform they've ever run on. This is absolutely frightening. And hopefully all those disillusioned Bernie supporters can see that perhaps this isn't the route they want to see the country take.
Well, they are understandably upset, and there's no question that the Clintons openly stole the nomination from Sanders, who annihilated her. You know, Infowars, they were on the ground at the DNC. I was watching some of these reports. 80-1. They couldn't find a single, Clinton supporter, and when they did, they were so out of their minds. They weren't coherent. I really couldn't understand what they were saying, but the Bernie people were so passionate. And Leon, that goes hand in hand with what we're seeing coming out of polling numbers in specifically 11 states. I found this lawsuit exposing a nationwide voter rigging issue with the DNC in the primaries that could actually derail her if it's successful. But in 11 states, 11 different states, not just one, 11, the exit polls and the electronic votes that totaled, they were different the morning after the primaries, which means that there is an issue with the electronic voting system.
Oh, you don't say.
Thumbs on the scale.
We didn't tell you that that was going to happen all the time. Of course, these electronic voting machines coming out of Brazil, where they said if that was the election was swayed there as well due to these electronic voting machines. It's all rigged. And as we know from the DNC leaks, the whole system was rigged. And perhaps that's why Bernie wanted to go ahead and suspend that vote count, because perhaps he did know that he had enough delegates there to go ahead and sway this election.
Oh, there's no question. If you look at his numbers, and the DNC from the very beginning, and we know a lot of this because of WikiLeaks, you and I covered this yesterday, they've gone after his religion, the way that he looks, the way that he behaves, tried to mar him, keeping him out of a voter database for unethical behavior when he didn't do anything. They're
the ones being unethical.
They've had their hand on the scale since the beginning of this. It was always her nomination. It was about keeping him out of the process. They underestimated the revolution aspect of him, if you will. And what's baffling to me, he's calling for his supporters to back Clinton, the ultimate corrupt candidate. I don't think there's been a more corrupt candidate in history. But, the spirit to resist tyranny would be on the side of Trump. And even the Clinton News Network is saying that Trump is ahead of Clinton. So let's just hope that those really disenfranchised people, it's not too late to wake up here. Your party screwed you. Your party absolutely kicked you out. And you've got people like, it really upsets me. This comedian, this Sarah Silverman gets on the stage, non-scripted, and she says, you guys need to give it up already. It's ridiculous. They think you're ridiculous. That's what she just said. You're ridiculous. I mean,
How dare you have passion? How dare you try to fight for democracy? How dare you look at the facts and see that this system is totally rigged? Just a month or so ago, Bernie is speaking out saying that this whole system is rigged. The election was rigged from the start. The DNC was obviously supporting Hillary Clinton. And then when you have facts and you have an activated populace that wants to back you, then you just bow out and you say, you know what? It's fine. Go ahead and support Hillary Clinton. She needs this. He wasn't really going to do anything to change the establishment. He never had it in him. He was probably surprised he even got that far because it was never about Bernie getting this election. It was about getting Hillary in, but forcing her to be even more progressive and take on some of those policies that aren't going to work. We're already $18 trillion in debt. How are we going to pay for free college?
Well, not only that, but, I just want to say, and it's comforting to look at this because their paradigm, it is collapsing, obviously. People are awake. They understand what's going on. And the tyranny, the spirit to resist it is here. And it's my hope that his supporters, those 80 to 1 on the ground, they realize maybe we shouldn't listen to him. Maybe he betrayed us. He folded like a cheap suit. And therefore, maybe we need another
lie
candidate.
the whole time.
Correct. And I have some friends, and they're really, I like passion, I like honesty, but we're talking about somebody who was pushing a communist agenda. Do you really want to live in a communist country? That's the bottom line. And, that really says something, that people are so poor, they're so fed up, they're so disenfranchised that they're willing to accept communism as opposed to just running with the truth and liberty.
Right.
Just amazing.
He is pushing policies that have failed worldwide over and over again. It's one of the most oppressive regimes that's out there, people that are involved in these communist regimes. And of course, people do not understand that because they're not getting the accurate history. They're only getting that sort of whitewashed version of it, being taught to hate their own country and what it stands for, not being educated on the fact that all countries that are, in some sort of a powerful role have all gotten there. Through conquest.
And through liberty and through a true spirit of liberty. I have a poli-sci, I love poli-sci, and they push and glamorize Marxism in college like it's unreal. You really have to kind of go, wait a second, this is glamorous? This is really what we want? We want a Marxist state and then ultimately a communistic state where we have no property, no individuality, no rights? Really?
Yeah.
Really? But you better be backing Hillary Clinton or you're ridiculous.
Right, exactly. No, it's absolutely insane, just the amount of people that buy into this, even though it's killed hundreds of millions of people. And I actually got in an argument with the kid that was pushing socialism where he admitted ultimately they want communism. But he's sitting there telling me that communism, socialism hasn't killed hundreds of thousands of people worldwide and that capitalism, obviously the big experiment here in the U.S. has failed. And I'm thinking, okay, it's only been tried here. It hasn't failed. It's lifted billions of people out of poverty. But communism, over and over again, has literally failed so many times.
They need to be mad at the elites that have hijacked our nation, the globalists that have taken over and have actually dictated. They've had such a strong hand on our own economy. That's who they need to be angry at, not the capitalists trying to make money and support people and create jobs. 85% of businesses in this country are small businesses, 8 employees or less. And those are the people on the ground, the true capitalists, if you will, that are employing people. Oftentimes they give up health insurance for themselves just so that they can have it for their employees, giving up vacations. That's the mark of somebody that has a true spirit of liberty, who believes in this system and creates jobs.
Right. And it's the crony capitalism that you need to be fighting against, which, of course, we talk about that all the time. That is wrong, putting your corporate profits over the people. And I think people should rightly be angry about that. But the answer is not to give all of the power to produce to a corrupt government.
Right.
That was the main problem I had with Bernie Sanders from the get-go. It's like, yes, I admire your passion. I like some of the policies that you're putting out there, but you want to give all the power to the corrupt government that's already in place. So, a lot of Sanders diehards are saying he didn't convince any of us. And their reaction to his speech is like, how could you let us down? You totally failed us. We put our faith in you.
Oh, he did.
And he turned out to be a total sellout. And then, they have papers coming out saying, well, he didn't sell out because he managed to push the $15 minimum wage. He managed to push the party further to the left. Get some of the things he wanted there in the rules.
Right.
So.
He was even calling delegates, telling them not, to comply. He was personally calling delegates on the floor, telling them to comply with this new mandate that, oh yeah, Hillary Clinton, it's more important to beat Donald Trump than it is to actually stand for something.
Right.
And, understandably they're upset. His quote, I am so proud to stand with her. I'm with her. Really?
Right. When just like
Okay.
weeks ago, he was bashing her, saying she was unfit to be the president and how terrible she was. Total flip-flop, total sellout, because this was about the agenda. And here you have all these people that don't make a lot of money paying into this, into his ideas, believing in something for the first time ever. And they just go ahead and take your money, and you've basically all been sold out. But at least you didn't sell your soul like Bernie Sanders did. Thank you so much. And we are going to be having a marathon 28-hour broadcast tomorrow. You and I are going to be going live from 7 to 8. And we'll be popping in and out all throughout the day. It's going to be super exciting. That's going to start at 11 a.m. Central with the Alex Jones Show. But we are going to have so much fun. I'm going to be hosting the Magic Mystery Hour from 10 to 2. Billy Corgan's going to be calling in, and many, many other surprise guests. It's going to be so fantastic. Thank you all so much for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Hillary for Prison shirts are $19.95. We've been selling them as low as $5 because I want to get tens of thousands of them out there. There's like 80,000 of them now out there or something. They're all over the country. It's one of the top memes in the nation. But at $19.95, we can take all the proceeds and pay for aircraft in the skies. You've seen that be national news. You've seen that be the top meme in the country. It's amazing. We're leading the way on how to resist. We're ragtag. We're cross-eyed and exhausted half the time, but we've got the passion. We're going over the top. Infowarsstore.com is the umbrella site. I'm selling at $19.95 to pay for the banners, to pay for the 18-wheelers with the big signs, to pay for the Jumbotron videos, and it's really paying off. Hundreds of newspapers, TV, Hillary for Prison. You cannot, but all the shirts, we sell all the ones we have, it's like 60 grand. So, but we got more being printed right now. Everybody's got to go buy a Hillary for Prison shirt for $19.95, show that Infowars doesn't get on the hole, because I want to really go crazy with airplanes at the DNC. We're looking at blimps as well. We're not going to be censored. Infowarsstore.com. Get your Hillary for Prison shirts today. Look in the last 8 months how far that meme's come.
In one block that I walked just a minute ago, I saw 15 of those shirts just in one block. The drive here from my spot where I'm staying, 30, 40 tons of them. They're every single way. The rally yesterday, almost everyone in the crowd had on a Hillary for Prison t-shirt. It is amazing. And everyone stops and they go, what does that shirt mean? Why does she need to go to prison? And it allows us to engage in a conversation and teach these people who have no clue about who Hillary really is, about all the things she's been involved in.
And we're not laying down to that witch. She's not going to buffalo us. We're not coward. We're not broke back. We're taking action. What about you? Get your Hillary for Prison shirt. I know you already have one. Buy another one. Give it to friends and family. I'm telling you, the war is now. The war is an info war. We're going to win. It's now been duplicated by countless groups, and I think that's wonderful. Imitation is the greatest form of flattery. And now it's all over CNN, it's all over Fox, it's all over the Trump rallies, the Hillary rallies. The #1 search term for a week straight last week, and still continuing, one of the top search terms is Hillary going to jail? This has been incredibly successful because it shows, despite corporate control and despite them trying to control the meme, we've had 3 versions of the Hillary for Prison shirt. All of them have been collector's edition and have helped fund the info war. We now have a 3rd edition in. The 2nd edition sold out. It's the same as the last, but on the right shoulder says Infowars.com. On the back, it says Infowars.com, legalize freedom. Be part of history. Be part of supporting the info war. Be part of meeting like-minded friends and family. Get your Hillary for Prison 2016 3rd wave shirts at Infowarsstore.com. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139.